Hey, I'm Ali, and this is Alvanda, which is a productivity tool that companies, businesses, and enterprise solutions can use to make sure that they're productive, that all their tasks, workflows, and operations they're streamlined in a single unified platform. So it all starts with your company organization, where you can vividly visualize your structure, all the job positions and hierarchy that you have within your company. You can go ahead and you can place that right into the application so that you can have a visual understanding of what's going on with their application. So as you can see that I have all these roles, I can add as much depth to the chart as possible. Obviously, if you just have a startup, it's going to be simple. But if it's an enterprise solution, you have thousands of employees, it can be so beneficial to have that chart for visual understanding of what's going on within your company. And each and every single role, it has its dedicated responsibilities, its leaders who are the managers for that roles, who are the people within that role. So the actual correspondence of the logical hierarchy that naturally plays out when you fill out the roles into this chart. And once you have that chart, then what you do is using the builder, you can define your procedures and your components. Now, component is the single unit of work that you have within your application, and all these components, they're completely customizable according to what your company needs and what your operations may look like. So for example, if you have a prospecting workflow within your application or within your company, you can simply make a prospect component in which you can have all the status flow that go for a prospect within your company, and you can make sure that your pipeline, it works process by process, step by step. And for example, a prospect might need first name, last name, email, phone number, so that you can manage and maintain your stuff. You can also define all those entities accordingly. Now that you have designed a component, you can have and make procedures. Procedures are distinct work items which you know fall into your company. They're repetitive, they're distinct, and they're concrete. So let's say you have a SaaS application and you want to make sure that you deploy new features out to the users, but you want to stay consistent, and you want to make sure that you don't leak bugs into your system. So what you do, you make a procedure of this definitive task, and you can completely design this from scratch according to each and every item which you have in mind. These items, they're all custom, and you can define each and every step in the procedure. Each and every step that gets assigned components which we have discussed earlier, and this is how we know what step and what activities are needed at each step. Then once you have all that procedures, that components or workflows, then you can have tasks, and you can create new tasks. For example, deploy real-time services to Alvanda. I can define users, and I can assign that ticket. Just for the demonstration purposes, I'll assign that to myself. This is production release of the website, and I can add recurring deadlines. If a single deadline is not met, I can make sure that notification and that process gets recurring. But let's skip that for now, and I'll just start the ticket. So once the ticket starts, you are gone through each and every single item within that ticket. It's a chronological step, just like how it's stated within your procedures. The user walks through each of the item, the user tracks the relevant information that has been specified in the procedure, and there is built-in time tracking, so the user doesn't manually have to log entries into the application. And overall, then there is this roadmap feature which makes sure that all of your information gets added into a single place. So you can plan out for the end of this year, for next year's, for the year after that. So you have a clear directed vision of your company, and you can define as many initiatives as possible and that are associated with time. In that initiative, you can define action items, what their department is. For example, this is a marketing department who is responsible for this, what are the procedures that are assigned with this, all the checkpoints, and the deadline. So this sums up Alvanda, which is a productivity tool. Thank you.